Chapter 9. Direct Hit. In the back parking lot, Dustin and I are having a duel. He has the sour cream gun, I have the guacamole. From 10 paces, the oversized caulking guns are still pretty accurate. Above us, on the fiberglass Taco Bell sign, brown streaks crack and flake away, remnants of our last battle. Dustin's okay, I guess. I've known him for over 10 years, but we've never really been friends. I remember back in 4th grade, our class did Beauty and the Beast for the winter recital. He was the candlestick, Lumiere, and dressed in gold sweats. The whole song he had a boner and everyone could see it. It's all our class could talk about for weeks. That's gotta suck for him. The orange Maverick races into the parking lot and Corey jumps out without shutting it off. His face is red and he's yelling about something. I can't hear him over the idling V8 engine. "Hey fucker, get over here!" he shouts, making his way towards us. Is he talking to me? I don't remember doing anything that would piss him off. Dustin drops the sour cream gun and takes off running down the sidewalk toward the front of the store. Corey gives chase and they make a lap around the building. Dustin ducks behind gas pumps and the drive-thru menu sign in his attempt to escape. When they get back to the rear of the store where I'm standing, guacamole gun still in hand, Corey grabs the mop that's hanging by the back door. He takes several swings with Dustin jumping out of the way before finally connecting with a loud crack. Dustin falls to the ground, clutching his side. "How could you, man? We've been together for 5 years. "I'm sorry, it didn't mean anything," Dustin pleads from the asphalt driveway as Corey stands over him with the mop handle ready to strike. I don't know if I should step in or not. On one hand, I'm the shift supervisor and Dustin is one of my employees, and it's happening on company property. On the other hand, Corey is my best friend. Before I can make up my mind, Corey throws down the mop, picks up the tube of sour cream, and chucks it at Dustin's car, splattering white across the windshield and hood. Looking long at Dustin laying on the pavement, he walks slowly back to his car without saying anything. Helping Dustin up, I yell through the back door I'm taking off early and run to the passenger side of Corey's car before he can take off. Hearing me knock on the window, he reaches across to unlock the door and I climb in. "Let's go, dude." "Don't you have to work?" "Whatever, I don't care, just drive." Hanging a left on the highway, we head back to Yosemite Lakes, his house, for beer and cigarettes. On the way, he tells me about the letters he found in his girlfriend's bedroom, notes between her and Dustin. Turns out they've been sleeping together for a couple months now. I hope I didn't contribute to that. Corey and I have been hanging out a lot more lately, playing music, going to Laser Quest. Most nights he could be with her, he's with me and John. We've invited Marnie a few times, but she's always a buzzkill, vying for Corey's attention the whole time. She'd probably have more fun if she'd actually play laser tag instead of sitting in the lobby. Let's be realistic though, it wasn't meant to be. The idea that someone would meet the love of their life at 14 and stay together into adulthood is absurd. Without ever experiencing the world and other people, how could you even know if someone's right for you? I think a lot of people find something that makes them feel good and try to hold on to it for as long as they can, long after it stops making them feel good. Drugs, sex, monogamy, family, it's all the same idea. "I broke up with her for good." "Oh, sorry." Or "Congratulations." This isn't the first time she's done this kind of thing. "Once a cheater, always a cheater, that's what I've been told." By my mom, ironically enough. It's one thing for car salesmen and politicians to lie. We expect it. We know that they're lying. It's another thing to lie to the people you're closest to, telling someone you love them but then sneaking around behind their back, doing something you know would hurt them. It's disgusting. I hate love. The only time people say they love you is when they're trying to break down your defenses so they can plot their next attack. Emotional espionage. I don't ever want to fall in love. It's just creating more opportunity for someone to hurt me. Then they'll say they only do it because they love me, whatever that means. Tony is off today, so we stopped by his house to get him to buy us a case of beer. We could steal it from Corey's stepdad. He doesn't care if we drink his beer, but he goes into a rage if he runs out. Last time he came tearing through the basement, kicking over guitar amps and tearing posters from the wall. Tony is one of the only guys we know who is over 21 and not someone's parent. He works at Taco Bell too. Before he moved up to the mountains, he lived in Fresno and was a Bulldog gang member. In school, they tell us if you ever join a gang, they'll never let you leave. Like, if you try to quit, they'll murder you. Tony got out, apparently. He never talks about it. The tattoos on his arms and chest will forever brand him as a Bulldog. "What's up, bitches?" Tony grins like a Cheshire cat at us. I climb over the seat into the back to give him room in the front. There isn't much room in the back seat of this old muscle car for my long, skinny legs. Let's go get some beer. Corey needs to get fucked up. Right on, I need to make a quick stop first. Living in the mountains, there's no such thing as a quick stop. Aside from the little convenience store at the gas station, it's a half-hour drive to any kind of town. We're going to stop by Tony's friend's place for some weed. It's on the other side of the highway, about a 15-minute drive each way. You guys got any cash? Corey and I each give Tony what we have, $48 in total. Okay, wait here, he says, climbing out of the Maverick and walking down the gravel driveway to the mobile home while Corey and I sit watching. It's all very dubious. Secret phone calls, no names, waiting at the end of the road. So, should we go knock on the door or something? I ask Corey over the seat after about 45 minutes of staring at the dark house waiting for Tony to return. No way, man. This is a pretty shady spot. The subdevelopment we live in, Yosemite Lakes, has an association that goes around scolding people for breaking their rules. They don't allow mobile homes, junk in the yard, old cars, that sort of thing. Indian Lakes, where we are now, is mostly trailers and RVs. Every yard is overgrown with weeds around rusted vehicles and yellowed appliances. Sometimes we'll come out here to the lake at night to party with other kids from school. For a while I wasn't welcome at these parties. They called me Narc because I was part of the Sheriff's Explorers. The same kids I used to hang out with at the creek by the junior parking lot refused to have anything to do with me. That is, until one night when I was on a ride-along, we got called out to break up a loud party. Instead of busting these kids, I talked Larry into letting them go with a warning. So now, I'm cool. I'm the guy they want to be friends with. I have connections. Finally, Tony saunters back to the car, carrying a half-empty 40. He throws a baggie through the open window into Corey's lap, then opens the door and climbs in. Corey takes a whiff and passes the plastic bag to me. I smell it too, even though I don't know what I'm trying to detect. Its odor is a bit like a skunk pissed on a pine tree. Back at his place, Tony hands me a plate and tells me to start breaking apart the weed so he can roll a joint. I don't know what I'm doing, but I don't want to seem like a dumbass, so sitting in his garage, I pull the sticky buds apart with my fingers and make a pile on the plate. It must be good enough, because after several minutes, when my fingers are gooey and black, Tony takes the plate from me and pulls a packet of zigzags from his pocket. Listen, man, Tony whispers to me when we're alone outside. I need to borrow some money, you know? I have the wife and kid and all that. You think you could help me out? I'll pay you right back. Sure, okay. How much do you need? Like $1,000, dog. I gotta pay for this house and shit. I don't have $1,000, I tell him. I could probably hook him up with like $400 or $500. Yeah, whatever you can do to help us, man. He smiles, leaning against his Ninja motorcycle and pulling a cigarette from the pack with his teeth. I can only take out $200 a day, so I'll hit the ATM for you this week and bring it to work. A few beers and joints later, I tell the guys I need to get home before I'm grounded again. I don't have an official curfew, just when I say so. I told my mom I was going to hang out with my friends after work, but it's almost 10 o'clock, so I'm sure to be in trouble. John is the most sober, having just shown up after working the dinner shift. The four of us climb into his little green Tercel and he races down the driveway and skids onto the road. He's always a crazy driver when he drinks. We all light a cigarette. I know I shouldn't. It's only a few minutes drive from Tony's place to mine, but I do anyway. My mom always investigates me for various odors when I get home, and I tell her I smell like cigarettes because my friends smoke. I figure it hides the smell of alcohol and weed, which is harder to explain. If I told her my friends all smoked weed in the car, I'd never be seeing them again. Looks like everybody is in bed, so I sneak as quietly as possible down the hall and into the bathroom, cringing as the hinge creaks behind me. I'll just wash my hands, brush my teeth, and go to bed, I instruct myself. Leaning in over the sink to lather my hands with toothpaste, it removes the smell better than soap, I bump my head against the mirror. This happens a few times before I realize I'm drunk and need to go to bed. Another tiptoe down the hall and I make it to my room, undressing and hiding my clothes in my closet to air out for a couple days before I put them in the laundry. Or if I'm here when the machine is running, I can just toss them in when nobody's looking. Either way, I just have to be careful not to get caught.